So I'm working on switching everything over, and it's been a very interesting process. I'm in a new place, which is awesome. Um, right now, I'm doing poetic recovery in my bedroom, but it's dope though because this is how I feel about it. Right now, I know some people are gonna be like, "Oh man, he should have this, and the third." I feel you, but you know what? When we're alone by ourselves, what's going on in our lives? I'm not one for faking the funk. Just like to keep it real. When we do poetic recovery, we come together. It's who we are. So hope you all can excuse the bedroom for now. Next week we should be downstairs, uh, in a new location, and keep moving forward. Now I'm looking at this. I'm looking at this report. There's an outbreak that sickens 19 people in 8 states. The salmonella outbreak, which may be linked to bird feeders. It says, here's what you need to know, but then doesn't have much information beyond that. So y'all look out for that. Salmonella outbreak. Go to Google, check it out, call your local health departments, stay in the know. Don't be ignorant about it. Today, we had humidity of 51 degrees, a UV index of 0 out of 10. Moon rise was at 12:24 a.m. Moon set 9:44 a.m. Tonight, 23 degrees. Some clouds this evening will give way to mainly clear skies, low 23 degrees Fahrenheit. Winds northwest at 5 miles per hour. 5 miles to 10 miles per hour. Listen, I don't know about y'all, but I live up here in Western Massachusetts, and we've been getting some really strong winds. It's been incredible. So y'all be careful out there. Tomorrow, Saturday, is going to be sunny, high 53 degrees, 28 degrees. So if you're like me, you're going to get out there and take advantage of that and go for a good walk. 0% of rain, winds northwest, 12 miles per hour. Sunday, we're going to have highs 58, low 39, partly cloudy. 2% chance of rain, northwest, 13 miles per hour. That's the wind. And just to peek ahead, Wednesday going to be high, 65 degrees. Partly cloudy, still some warmth. A great day to get out and walk. Bring your umbrella because there's going to be 14% chance of rain. So it is New England. You never know how that's going to turn around. I got this information from weather.com. For those of you out there who are like me, who are in recovery, who may know people that need support, check out the SAMHSA website, www.samhsa.gov. You'll find national resources there for mental health and addiction, substance abuse and mental health services administration. You'll find a lot of information that you need. For those that need it, the SAMHSA, it's hard for me to pronounce the acronym. It's like SAMHSA. National hotline number is 1-800-662-HELP. That's 1-800-662-4357. If you know someone that needs help, addiction, mental health issues, don't feel like you're snitching on somebody. They need help. You know, I know individually, many of us don't have enough resources, but somewhere there is resources. And I just like to encourage our communities to know. It's just like somebody with cancer, right? The more we learned about cancer, the more empowering we became. The more we're able to connect with people and listen to them and do the best that we can. I believe we need to do the same thing for those with mental illness and substance abuse issues. The more we know, the more we can support. The more we support, the more we support, the greater chance that people will go and get the support systems that they need. So check out their website and then look for local places in your area. I know in my area we have Hope for Holyoke. You can check them out. Um, you have Alcoholics Anonymous. You have Narcotics Anonymous. There's many different pathways to recovery. Um, I learned in my recovery coaching class. And what do I mean by that? I mean, I grew up in 12-step programs. I'm not going to say which one because it's anonymity. Um, but so not everybody is going to choose the same program. And as much as, some of us would like to believe there's only one way to recover. I mean, I believe that there's, personally, if you ask me, hey, man, how do you believe, people can recover? I'm going to tell you, it, it honestly depends on the person, and what the person wants. I've seen addicts go into Alcoholics Anonymous and get, and find what they need. I've seen alcoholics go into Narcotics Anonymous and get what they need. I've seen people bicker back and forth, which to me is kind of unproductive. But I've seen people go into many different walks of life, and turn their lives around. And then I've seen people die before they even get a chance to turn their lives around. So for me, I'm not going to bicker and say which one's better. I don't think anyone's better than the other. I think it depends on what works for you, right? And the best way you're going to know that is to give an honest attempt, right? And if something doesn't work for you, try another, right? That's what I say. Uh, so with that being said, oh man, my friends are gonna laugh at me when they come on tonight. Looking in my room. Uh, so with that being said, I mean, do the best that you can. Um, Now, you may ask, um, what are the different pathways? I mean, there's many different pathways to recovery. Um, Let me see. Before I go to, before I answer that question, I want to, I want to make sure I have them all in front of me because I like to give people the best information possible. So it's interesting because the answer I got from the Recovery Research Institute is that there's clinical pathways, recovery process aided by the services of healthcare provider, clinician, or other credentialed professional. There's the non-clinical pathways, recovery process that do not involve a trained clinician, but are often community-based and utilize peer support. And then there's the self-management pathways, which is a recovery process that involve no formal services, sometimes referred as to natural recovery. Now, under the clinical pathways, you have levels of clinical addiction care, pharmacology, holistic-based recovery services, acceptance and commitment therapy, community reinforcement approach, cognitive behavioral approaches, contingency management, relapse prevention, motivational interviewing, 12-step facilitation, behavioral couples therapy, and family therapy. Under non-clinical, you got recovery residences, recovery community centers, peer-based recovery support, education-based recovery services, employment-based recovery services, and faith-based recovery support, and self-management path. Now, what I'm hoping that one day you'll see cultural-based recovery support and poetic recovery underneath that. And then under self-management pathways, uh, it has faith-based recovery support, recovery-oriented systems of care, employment-based recovery supports, and recovery community centers. So it'd be great for Poetic Recovery to be listed under that last one too, recovery community centers. And again, Poetic Recovery is not a pathway under itself. It's a cultural, it's a way to culturally encourage people to continue on their walks to recovery and connect with each other, and to be able to hear each other and, through sharing, validate ourselves, um, and just to rise up out of all that. So, um, pretty interesting. Um, Now here's one thing that I've loved about Poetic Recovery. Um, there's one thing I learned about um, Poetic. There's one thing I learned about recovery early on, and someone said to me, "Man, you gotta learn to let go." I'm like, "What? Like, what the hell are you talking about? Learn to let go, right?" And for me, I've learned that let go is to just accept, to become aware of my power as a human being, which means what? Um, um, it means to like if I meditate, right? If I'm sitting here and I'm deep breathing, right? So as I'm deep breathing, the world is still going without any intervention from me at all. The world is still going, right? Now that I stop breathing, the world is still going, right? I'm involved in it now, right? I'm adding energy to it now, right? So when I'm meditating, to me, I'm sitting in the truth that the world is going to continue to go on, um, even though I'm still here, I'm still alive, right? So for me, letting go, when I deep breathe, when I meditate, letting go means to admit the limitation of my power. So the things that, are bothering me, right? I deep breathe and I come to terms with their impact. Um, I come to terms with the fact that much of how I'm impacted by what's going on is how I think and how I respond to what has happened to me or around me. So letting go, I mean, it's letting go for me comes in form of meditating, exhaling, doing deep breathing, writing, communicating with people, having those discussions, about the exact nature of what is bothering me, what's going on, and getting to like why it's bothering me. And it might not be gone after that first conversation, but as I continue to, discuss it and look at it, right, and look at the root, right, it becomes weaker. Its stronghold over me becomes weaker. So for me, that's what letting go is. Hey, caller number 2, how you doing? Welcome. You on mute.
Oh, yeah. How you doing? This is Jerry.
Hey, Jerry, how you
How
doing,
y'all
brother?
doing?
Thanks for coming on
Doing
tonight,
pretty
man.
good. Say what?
Say thanks for joining us tonight.
Yeah, it's yeah. I didn't know he might have some belated April Fool's thing going on. So yeah. But at any rate, man, it's all good.
So how was your week?
My week was exceptional.
Okay, tell us about it.
Well, I can only say so much, but basically, the bottom line is that, yeah, I got to different points, where I, I had been moving in certain directions, and this past week kind of pushed me further down, moved the needle, I should say, yeah, in a couple of ways, but overall. Yeah, I would basically say that my week was it was transformative.
Is that a good thing?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm much more I feel focused, I feel blessed. Um and to the point that what you were just discussing, yeah. I learned I spoke last week about learning about breathing and how that really affects everything, you know. So yeah, I've been working more with that, and to specifically to what you were speaking of, yeah, of kind of like learning how to let go and getting a deeper understanding of self. And so yeah, on a lot of levels, man, the needle was moved. So yeah, it was an exceptional week.
Well, I'm glad it was exceptional. I'm glad it was
And it's
exceptional.
not a not like a flash in the pan sort of thing, where it was this was an awesome thing, and then
Did you
everything
say the
settled
flash? Did
back
you say the
in. You know what I
flash?
mean? This was like a foundational kind of thing, So
I mean, well, you're talking about it, bro, but you're not really letting me know much, though.
well, that's my MO, man.
Well, forget the MO,
And
bro. You gotta let us know or not. I mean,
no,
you come
man,
on
it's
here,
kind of
you come on here, you take advantage of our time, our ears, and our curiosity, but you're not gonna let us know anything. By the way, Can I let them know your name, caller?
Well, you've always been talking. You've always talked my name, anyways, man.
Yeah, this is Jerry, y'all. This is Jerry. Jerry. This is what Jerry does.
Yeah, Jerry with a J.
He'll give you a little peek into what's happening, but he won't let you see everything. He won't even let you see 9/10. He'll just send you away
All right. Okay.
wondering.
Yeah. So. Okay. Yeah. So, in terms of like family, I had some things, some positive family interactions, like with my daughter and with her support network.
Okay.
So that was good. I had a couple of things happen at work that were initially negative. I took as negative, but I, was able to get to a point where I understood that was an opportunity for me to look at things differently. And so, yeah, that negative got flipped into a positive for me, and again, that was something that wasn't just for that particular, thing that was going on. It was something that it's foundational, So going forward, it's like a platform for me to process things going forward, in ways that in the past I would have taken like stuff personally or would have, maybe had an attitude about something or felt kind of like, oh well, you know what I mean. So there was that, and yeah, and then I'm also looking at some other stuff, some personal stuff like finances, and looking at longer term finances and realizing there's ways I can position myself, that I have more options than I had realized, So just on a few different levels, yeah, things really kind of the week kind of just it moved the needle, in general for me. And plus the other thing too, and I try not to talk about stuff like this, but I had like a positive thing that happened to me where I was able to help somebody out. It's kind of like, I guess you would call a random act of kindness. Um, and it was someone who was in the store, and they had gotten to the register and everything was rung up, and turned out they didn't have the means to pay for what they had, and so I was able to I was in a position where I was able to basically to intervene, and to work that out and to get that worked out for them. In part it was my resources, but also as a couple other people saw what was happening, they kicked in, and so. And I say I don't like to even mention stuff like that because, I do a random act of kindness is something that you do not to broadcast, later. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, that did happen, and so that was a positive. I get positives from that. So yeah, it was just a good week. It was just an exceptional week for me.
Bro. Um, um, I want to say you actually just did broadcast your act of kindness. Just want to say.
Yeah, I did. And I said I don't like to do that. I usually don't do that, but since you were pressing me for details, I had no choice. You know what I'm saying?
All right, all right, all right. I got you. I got you. I'm here trying to recruit people, and I just want to send a shout out to my boy Chris, who's in the hospital right now. I don't want to send the details of what's going on, but just want to send mad love, mad respect. I'm probably going to be doing this throughout the show. He's in the hospital right now, hoping that he can log on and click on it. Hopefully that he can either log on or go to the website poeticrecovery.net and then click on Poetic Recovery Open Mic. And listen to the show.
So you're saying so? Oh, excuse me. So you're saying that he's okay enough, so that's a possibility that he might be able to log on? I mean, he's not like in a ICU or a coma or anything like that?
I wouldn't say. I mean, he's awake now. Man, it's hard, bro. I mean, wow, it's hard.
Yeah, well, I hope that I will keep my thoughts and prayers for him, and maybe he can tune in. That would be awesome, because I know he gets mad support from this end, from you and from the show and everyone, all the participants as well.
Absolutely, absolutely. Dominica, welcome. Let's say congratulations to Dominica, who passed her class, got her I don't want to miscategorize anything, Dominica, but you got your LLC. You got your license too, right? You're on mute, young lady.
Sorry. Yes, I got my LLC and I'm working on my license right now.
What's the LLC?
A limited liability company. For my company, I am a holistic healing and wellness coach. So I make products.
Oh, okay.
And then I also specialize in like inner child healing, shadow work, children and young people's mental health and wellness, spiritual life coaching, motivational speaking, accountability coaching. I'm an aromatherapist and an herbalist. So I do make bath products. So I make other products too, like pain relief cream. Most of the stuff that I do is with the elderly community. But I do have, traditional bath soaks, bath teas, soaps, chapsticks, things of that nature.
Oh, well, congratulations on getting that designation.
Thanks,
so that
darling.
opens up doors. That opens up doors for you. Let you move a little bit further into what you're doing.
Yes, definitely. Currently, I'm working on. I'm already a certified wellness coach. So right now, I'm working on my certification for becoming a certified wellness practitioner. Then I'll be listed on the AAD. The American Association of Drugless Practitioners, and when I'm completed with that, with the boards for that. But currently, I'm trying to get listed on the what is it called? I can't even remember them. It's too many little short term abbreviations. The Complementary Medical Association. I'm sorry, the CMA. So I'm trying to get listed on there right now as a holistic health practitioner.
I think that's pretty dope.
Awesome.
I mean, that goes. I mean, it goes right along with Poetic Recovery and some of the services that people in recovery utilize. So I wish you the best with that.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
As you grow, as we grow, we'll continue to help promote what you do. When you're ready. So congratulations and keep rocking.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Mr. Let's go back to you, Jerry. Jerry, what do you do anyway?
What did you say?
What do you do, bro? You say you work. I never see you at work. What do you do?
No, I work at an insurance company, man. And I just basically administrative sort of stuff.
Wait, how long you been working at the insurance company, bro?
I started in 2014.
You must not be a
So
salesman because you ain't
however
never
long
asked me to
that's
buy
been.
insurance. Huh?
Say what?
You must not be a salesman because you ain't never asked me to buy insurance.
No, I haven't. But yeah, but there's a thing. This is Mass Mutual I work for, and so yeah, there's a thing. They have this program called the Bridge Program, and
Oh, bro.
they offer like free life insurance for people
Oh, so you just
of
gonna
limited
promote?
income, and
Oh,
so
you
yeah,
just
I
gonna?
think it's something that Black folks are in the minority community. Insurance has not been. I mean, we think of insurance for like our cars, stuff that we have to have,
Mm-hmm.
but other than that, insurance is something that we don't really
Have, yeah.
realize, the benefit of. But anyway, that's what I do. That's what I do. That's where I work.
Well,
So
you could let them know that we'd be willing to help share the information. Um, so let me know who to contact, and I'll be willing to reach out to them and see if we can, create a connection there. Because you're right, um, so many Black folks, man, die, and I mean, well, I don't want to sit here and promote them, you know what I'm saying, but it's an actual fact, you know what I'm saying, that not even just Black people, but so many people die unexpectedly without insurance, and their families are not in a position to actually bury them and do what needs to be done, you know what I'm saying? So, let you and I talk about that and see what we can do, um, you know, about, addressing that situation.
all right, that sounds good. We'll
Right.
definitely, yeah, we'll do that
Insurance, huh? I
then.
never even knew that about you, man. What did you do before then?
Well, before then,
What was your
my
cop?
basic huh?
What was your cop?
No, I was never into law enforcement, but I was kind of part of a system. So I had two trades, two careers, right? My initial one was as a machinist, machine operator slash machinist. That's what I did a good part of my life. When I wasn't doing that, I was doing human services work. That's what I mean when I say I was kind of like part of a system. I mean, I worked with everything from, juvenile delinquents, as they used to call them, troubled youth. I did most of my work in the mental health field, which I love. I love doing that type of work, both in residential, but most of it was outreach, working with people in the community that are trying to just supporting people in the community that have issues, that have mental health struggles, and so they can be productive or just live out in the community. I did like crisis intervention, which I also like doing, dealing with people who were in different stages of crisis, from suicide, being suicidal, to being on the verge of that. And I
So
did a lot
that's
of
why you are the
volunteer
way you
work.
are.
I did a lot of volunteer work within the human service thing as well,
You
like
can't.
mediation. I did like family mediation, parent-child mediation.
Would
So
you? Would
that's
you?
where my heart is, man. The insurance. There's nothing. I get a paycheck from that, but
Oh,
it
hey, hey,
doesn't.
hey,
It
hey, hey,
doesn't.
hold on. I don't want you to get in trouble because this is broadcast live. I don't want your company coming back saying, "Hey Jerry, is this you? Oh, it's just a paycheck,
No, I'm
right?"
just. No, I'm just saying that I get a paycheck, but I also get to understand broader issues that I didn't understand before, like insurance, like that in the minority communities, that the whole notion of insurance is something that there's opportunities there, and
Wait,
so
okay.
yeah, I learn. It's a learning experience, a learning
I like how
curve for me.
I like how you cleaned that up. I like how you cleaned that up. That was good. If I ever need a master spinner, I'm gonna call you, bro.
No, but my heart is all about people, man. You know, and the insurance business at the heart of it, that's
Mhm.
what it is. It's about people. You know, human services is more direct front line stuff. So yeah, man, it's about the human condition, man. You know, I mean, that's where, at the end of the day, that's what it all comes down to.
Now, I don't want to make this about interviews because I mean, I love conversation, man. This is beautiful. But let me ask you guys, let me ask you two a question relating to addiction and health and wellness, um, trauma. Um, During the pandemic, I noticed that a lot of people around me have either relapsed or back into drug addiction or have OD'd. Someone close to me just died. Um, and their drugs was laced with something. Um, you know what I mean? Their drugs was just laced with something.
I said, was it fentanyl? So
Uh,
I said,
yeah,
that's the popular thing that's going on. So I just was wondering.
yeah, and so um, I guess my aim is to get people to, instead of shunning those who are afflicted by drug addiction, to more or less understand, you know, why they are where they're at and what they're going through, and to work together to offer help rather than just beat them down or look down upon them. Because the crazy thing is, like, many times drug dealers are like held up as heroes, you know? And the fact of the matter is, like, both are like a victim of circumstance, you know? So, what do you all think that we can do? I'm gonna give each one a 30 seconds to a minute to, from your perspective, what is it that you think that we can do to help support those searching for recovery from addiction? Let's start with you, Dominica.
All right, ask the question one more time.
What do
What do
you
I
think?
think we can?
What do you think that we can do to assist those who want to recover from addiction?
I mean, the only thing that I can say is be available if they come calling. I mean, you can't force somebody who wants to be, who you want to be in recovery. That's going to have to be their first step. But there's avenues are all open for that. You know, no one's blocking anybody from going into recovery or working on themselves. That's going to be something that when I talk to people, I just leave avenues open so they'll know that they have someone they can come to. I try not to project on people. I try not to force people or become in a hierarchy conversation where it feels like I'm overseeing them or guiding them and telling them what they need to do. I only can let people know the recovery centers that I know, the counselor hotlines that I know of, the website link addresses. That's all I can really do, is listen, be a listening ear, because I'm a product of someone who was on drugs. I don't have that type of recovery experience. My recovery is more coming from a traumatic upbringing. So I am a product of someone or a family that was, involved with drug usage. So it's kind of hard for me to say because I've been, like you said, that judgmental person. I've been that person that's been hard on people like that. And that was because of my past traumatic experiences and my upbringing that, left a imprint on what made me who I am today. So I just try to be open-minded and hear them. But it was a time that I did do a lot of talking and I probably did make people feel bad. So that's why I'm trying to come at it from a different angle. because I try to, not now, but in the past, I have talked to people probably in a disheartening way because I'm, coming from the child aspect. So they were probably feeling like, oh wow. So it wasn't kind of good. But now I just feel like, everybody is different. We all grow at different rates. We all grow at different stages. I'm not really here to judge because I don't know what their hardship may be, just like I don't even know what my mom or other family members' hardship is because they've never opened up to me about it. So I just be a listening ear, a sounding board. And like I said, I give out the guidance that I can. I usually deal with the youth and young adults. I haven't really had anyone come to me about drug abuse, but the adults that I do know, that's the kind of things that I do. I give them the 1-800 numbers. I give them the VC counselors where they can do counseling online. Give them different links where they can do any type of counseling, whether it's with a psychologist or if it's drug counselor. They can get right on Zoom like how we are on your WebEx and talk to someone if they don't want to go in. They don't have to show their face, and you got to be sure sometimes when you're dealing with people if they really want recovery. Sometimes they might want recovery for that moment in time, but do they want to be really held accountable? Because in my accountability coaching, that is where I find that people are having a lot of challenges at being held accountable or holding themselves accountable for the things that they need to do. So it's all about understanding the individual that comes to you. Everybody has a different background. And I just try to, promote positivity and let them know the doors are always open, but it's up to you to take the necessary step and knock to get in.
Jerry, thank you so much, Dominica.
Yeah,
Jerry, what
yeah.
do you feel is what do you feel that we can do to help those who want want help to recover? Even if they don't want help, what do you think we can do to help people? Because sometimes people are so beaten down, right, that they think that they're beyond help, don't even know that they can be helped. What is it that you think that we can do to encourage an addict to get help or help an addict that wants help? What do you think we can do as everyday people?
Now
What do you think we can do?
you mean we as individuals?
Yep, just everyday people. What we think we can do?
Well, I think the first thing is to be real with them, and what I mean by that is to engage them in conversation. Maybe not just regular conversation. Engage them as a human being. And I think that through the course of conversation, most people that have addiction issues, they will reveal that to you, either directly or, indirectly. And so in terms of conversation with people, it's just being real with people. And I think to me, that's what I do. I mean, I have conversations with people regardless of whether, what their situation is, and if their situation happens to be that they're struggling with addiction, and they reveal that to me, then I will engage them on that and on that plane, in terms of me being a recovering person, that, yeah, there's hope, that there's, absolutely hope, and so, but I also think that it's a matter of being honest with them in conversations. For example, yesterday I was coming out of the store out of Family Dollar on Main Street, and I'm walking toward my car, and this brother came up to me, and he said, and he was very respectful, very polite, and he said, asked me if I could, spare, any change or, $1 maybe. And then he said, yeah, because I'm trying to get a bag. Because I'll be honest with you, I said I'm trying to hustle up some money to get a bag, because I'm dope sick, what I'm saying. And so I I gave him $1, and and again, he was very respectful. He said thank you and bless you, and and I basically I said, bless you as well, and so that was just a limited interaction. It wasn't really a conversation. But my answer to your question is of treating people as they're human beings, not looking down on them or talking down on them or treating them like they're just someone who has problems like everybody else does, and they're trying to figure out how to get from point A to point B. So that's the short answer to your question. In terms of what I can do personally, as an individual, when I encounter someone who has revealed to me that they have, they're struggling along those lines. And finally, I just wanted to add quickly, I know there's people, I talk to a lot of people who say, oh, you gave so-and-so, you gave him $1, they're just going to turn around and get, and get whatever with that, And so my response to that is, I don't have any control over what they do with that. But if someone is in a position where they need to approach a stranger on the street and ask for money, no one wants to do that. I mean, we all have pride, so nobody wants to be in that position. So if someone is in that position and they bring themselves to actually do that, then, there's some issues. They're struggling on that level alone, on the level of human dignity, you know what I mean? And I would much rather give somebody $1 than to come out of the store and find my window broken and my car has been, ransacked, you know what I'm saying? Or for someone to basically, it's like, give me your money, give me your money, you know what I'm saying? So, it flows on a lot of levels, but I think it begins with people needing to have dignity and self-respect. And when it comes to a point where their circumstance puts them in a position where they need to do something that, that kind of denies them that basic, human respect, dignity, then, I think that's not a time for me or us to be judgmental and say, oh, well, I'm not doing nothing for you, you need to do something for yourself kind of thing. You know what I mean? So I guess compassion is the word I would use. My one-word answer to your question is compassion.
Thank you. Just want to let everybody know that we are streaming to YouTube, and an online radio station that can be heard at www.poeticrecovery.net. Listen, hey, Nanon, how you doing?
Doing well, thank you.
That's cool. Be great to see you. Hello, Art. How you doing? Art, can you hear us? So as soon as Art gets settled, we'll start the interview. Tonight I had a special interview. Mr. Art. Oh Lord, y'all know how much I hate saying people's names, right? Because I'm afraid of pronouncing it wrong. But tonight, I've asked Mr. Art Sherrod Jr. to come on and allow me to interview him during Poetic Recovery open mic. His music has inspired millions all across the world. And as you know, Poetic Recovery, we have musicians, we have artists who are in recovery. We have artists who are supporting Poetic Recovery because art encourages healing. I've asked Art to come on and be interviewed because his incredible saxophone abilities. I mean, you guys have heard his music before, right? Hello?
I have
Yeah.
not.
What's his last name?
Why you gotta ask me that question, bro? I got through. I got through Sherrod, and I want to confirm that with him as soon as he gets on. Um,
Hey guys, I'm actually on right now. How are you?
I'm doing all right. I'm doing all right. Are we able to see you via video?
Actually, I just got out of a meeting, so I'm actually, believe it or not, I'm actually driving.
Oh, okay. All right. All right. I I don't know how many ways to say thank you for coming on to our
Oh,
platform this evening, and to be interviewed. Your music is so inspirational. It's touched the lives of millions, and people on our network. So I want to say thank you so much for allowing me to interview you this evening.
oh, well, thank you for inviting me. I truly appreciate it.
Just to let you know, I know you know a little bit about Poetic Recovery. I myself, I have 26 years in recovery. I started Community Against Hate, Poetic Recovery over 10 years ago. Looking for when I first started out in recovery, I was rapping. I couldn't find a place to go without alcohol and drugs. So I created Community Against Hate to educate artists about social political issues. About 5 to 10 years, and I realized that like the challenge was that there was no place for artists to go to be heard. That even if they knew the issues, consciousness wasn't being supported. So I created Poetic Recovery as a space where we can go where there's no alcohol and drugs, and encourage healing, and artists can be supported. And so here we are today.
Wow, amazing, absolutely amazing.
Hello?
Yes, are you there?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, that's actually absolutely amazing, amazing.
And so again, I want to thank you for coming on. Let's start back in the beginning. One thing I want to say that I really absolutely loved about reading about you was the fact that you invoked your experiences, those in your lives, um, as the impetus for your music, or at least part of your musical journey. And so that right there, I was like, wow, because a lot of artists, they're like, yeah, I did this, I did it on my own. But you bring all that, with you, which lets me know that you're deeply rooted in your culture. And so I'd like to ask you, what was one of your greatest influences?
Well, well, first of all, you know, God Almighty is amazing, and He's given me these talents and abilities that I could not have done it all by myself by no means. And so I always have to give thanks to Him. One of them, as it relates specifically to jazz, um, some of my greatest influences are people that like Gerald Albright, Kirk Whalum, Najee. Those individuals have, Kim Waters. People like that have been instrumental in much of my success that I have achieved thus far in this industry. Uh, Primarily, not only because of just the musical abilities that they have and the stories and knowledge that they've been able to give me, but because they're just good people, good men. And sometimes we need that in this journey, this musical journey. So they've been amazing influences on my career, on my life, and my music.
Why the saxophone?
Well, that's somewhat of a long story. So originally, I wanted to be a drummer. You know, as most boys that are 12, 13 years old, they like beating on stuff and making noise. And so I wanted to originally be a drummer. And because of the schedule, my mom worked at the post office. So she worked the graveyard shift. So she worked from like midnight until, 8 a.m. in the morning. My dad worked at the railroad, and he worked from 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. And so they were like, son, there's no way you're going to be playing drums and with, based upon our schedule. And so I then decided I wanted to play trumpet. I was all in on trumpet. And my aunt, who went to Texas Southern University, convinced my mother that the trumpet would push my teeth in. And so my mom was like, there's no way you're going to play trumpet. There's absolutely no way. And so then I decided probably around 12, 13, which was right around the time that I noticed that boys and girls don't look alike. And so I was kind of like, well, what is it that the girls would like? And I actually chose the saxophone because I was like, I think the girls would like this. And, luckily, it was something that I gravitated toward, and I absolutely loved it because, one, I sang in the choir. So I always think of saxophone as being an extension of a voice. And so I would practice, hours at a time just on my saxophone because I just loved it that much. So that's why the saxophone, man.
Did the girls like it?
Well, I would have to say I think so. They kind of dug it a little bit, but after I got over that little period of what the girls like, I actually dug it probably more than they did, and I just fell in love with playing the saxophone and all the things about it.
I mean, that's what counts, right? If you love it, that's half the battle, right?
Absolutely, 100%.
So I have a personal question for you.
Yeah.
It's interesting because at any point in time we can get a lot of negatives about the industry, this and that. But it's interesting when I see an artist such as yourself, right, who's done so well, whose music touches so many people. Like I just think about positive things. What has
Right.
your experience been like in the industry?
Well, music. The thing about music is that it's not just for entertainment value, and I say that because being a musician, I'm able to do a lot of different things other than just as quote unquote entertain you. Music allows a person. I can't tell you how many times I performed, and I had someone in the audience come up to me and say, I am so glad I came tonight. I was going through something, whatever it may be, and for this 90 minutes that you were on stage, I completely forgot about it, and I am in such a better place right now. Music is very therapeutic, and I think for me, that is one of the biggest positives because music is so therapeutic, not only for the listener, but sometimes just for me. because there are times where, we forget sometimes that the artists go through some of the exact same things as the listeners do. But we're paid not to show that we're going through those things. And for an artist, sometimes performing on stage, playing certain songs and the music gives us a chance to provide the necessary therapeutic services that we need also, because it allows us to speak from our heart. And, so I would have to say one of the biggest positives about being a musician and playing music and performing around the world is that you get to provide a service to someone that it touches everybody differently, whether it's taking them from a bad place that they're in and putting them in a better place, or amplifying something that's positive in their life. We get to tell a story on stage every night, and hoping that the listener gets a chance to take that ride with us. And I can't think of a better profession where we get a chance to do that. I absolutely enjoy doing what I do and performing for people and telling the stories from my heart. And it's just it's absolutely amazing. So I think, number one, it really is, just being a musician allows us to take people in different directions and different places and provide a therapeutic aspect that they weren't really even expecting. Because that to me, that's what jazz is. It's really about soul, about life, and about pain, and about love, and about excitement. It's so many little layers to jazz and music.
No, I
So
see.
I would.
I apologize. I thought you was done. I apologize.
No. Go ahead. No.
So I see that. So I was reading in your bio. One of the things that interested me, and you did a rendition of Hall and Oates. Is that true?
Yes.
What?
So
How did? So it says in 2005, Art released his freshman project entitled "All for Love," which featured an incredible arrangement of the Hall and Oates mega hit "Sarah's Smile." How did that come
yes.
about?
So I grew up in Texas. I'm a native Texan. I grew up listening to a wide variety of music. And I have always been a huge fan of Hall & Oates. Always. And when I was putting together my freshman project, I wanted a song that would kind of bring together everybody. And I wanted to find a song that would bring us together. And I've always loved Sarah's Smile. And around that time, I also got a chance to go travel to Rio de Janeiro in Brazil. And so I don't know if you've ever gone to Brazil, but the music there is just amazing. And there's so many guitar players, and they have that flamingo style. And I was like, I just fell in love. And so I came back, and I was so excited. I was like, we've got to record this song, and I really want to do it where we are focusing on the guitar and whatnot. And so that's kind of how that whole thing came about. I really wanted to create something, I wanted to re-record a crossover song that would bring our community together, the black, the white, all of the communities together with a song that we all could relate to. And I just thought that Hall and Oates song was just, that was the one, because I just love all of their music and their songs. So that's kind of how that arrangement came about for that 2005 report.
So I'm attempting to play that song.
Okay, excellent.
For some reason, it's not. For some reason, it's not coming through. But what I will do is, I will make sure that I send it out to everyone in the group so they know who you are. I think most people know who you are in the group, to say the least. Have you done any scores for any movies?
I have not done any scores. I have submitted music to different for a couple of different soundtracks, but I have not done any scores yet for movies. I'm always open. So if you have something or you have some connections, I'm always down for that. But that is one thing that I have not done.
Okay. I mean, there are some movie producers that I do know. And I get Steven Sticks Josie is one that comes to mind. He's working on the Aaliyah movie right now.
Okay.
With Kalia. He also did American Family Dreamers on Amazon Prime. So, and I there's other people that I've connected with that do that do movies. Tanzania, who's producing movies over there. We did our first annual Black International History Celebration this year. So I'll tell you what I can do is I could forward your information to them in Tanzania.
And that would be excellent. Yeah, that would be excellent. I just did an interview with Bola Sonola out of Nigeria. So just a couple of weeks ago. So that's crazy.
Okay, absolutely, yeah, man. I'll push that along, man, and help make that happen. What is it? I gotta ask this question. Have you seen? We all see, musicians who are very promising. They get into drugs or alcohol, and their whole career is just gone. Have you witnessed that with anyone around you in the music industry?
Yes, I mean, you see certain things on the road that will shock you. I remember being out on the road, and I, for my first time, I actually saw, people doing cocaine, and I was completely blown. I didn't know. It was shocking to me. We were in the hotel, and it was after the show, and so we're all in our rooms, and then we just kind of congregated in this particular artist room, and next thing I know, I see people, doing drugs, and I'm like, holy smokes! I'm like, nope, time for me to go to bed. So I went back to my room, but I've been with this artist, and I've seen. They're one person during sound check, and then they're a totally different person when it's time to perform after they've done whatever drugs that they needed, felt that they needed. it is an amazing beast, I would have to say, drugs, when it comes to artists. When you put in the amount of time to perform and record, some artists believe that they need certain things to keep them going, to enhance their creativity. And, you know, I'm not making excuses for them by no means, but when you're in the moment, you can almost see why, wow, I can see why these artists were using drugs. It wasn't necessarily just for the euphoric benefits of doing drugs. When you're in the studio late at night, and I'll give you a good example. I mean, nobody was doing drugs, but just last week I did a live video concert with Gerald Beasley, Alex Bouillon, Willie Bradley, and myself. And so I had a show the night before in South Carolina, and then I flew in the next day to Maryland. I was at the studio at 3 p.m., and we rehearsed up till about 9:15 p.m., and then we started recording around 10:30 p.m. We didn't finish up until about 2 a.m. 2 a.m. in the morning. You know, so, you know, I can see why sometimes artists feel that they need that to keep them going, keep the creativity, keep the energy. And I've been in those environments. I've seen it happen, and it's an ugly sight, you know. And for me, it's a little scary because I don't do drugs. So to see someone using them is a little frightening. But some artists feel that they need that in order to maintain, you know, that you know, that extra lump that they need to get through the recording, get through the session.
So I have to ask you, what has kept you away from that, you know, and has allowed you to stay focused without that?
Well, the good thing for me is that I don't. One, I've never had an addictive personality. Two, I just don't need that. You know, I don't like not being able to feel like myself. You know, now I may have a cup of coffee or something like that to help push through, but I you know, I've just never been a fan of not being within myself. And so I've just, you know, it's just not something I've ever gotten into. Never had a desire to get into. Like I said, when I have been around people that were doing it, I typically go the other direction because I just don't even want to be around it. And you know, you just kind of have to have some sort of a certain level of discipline to not even get around it. Not that I think, you know, and I could probably be around it and be perfectly fine, but I just don't want to be around that. You know, I like to have all my faculties and be able to maintain.
Thank you so much for answering those questions. So I see you have a new project coming out, or you came out with a new project recently.
Yes, it's called the Art of Love.
Now,
So,
is that about the art of love or art of love?
well, it's a little play little play on words. So, what was going on was I'm actually finishing up. I've been working over the last 2 years, year and a half probably. I would say last year and a half or so. I've been working on a project that I plan to release this summer. But once the pandemic hit, and it's just me being me, and sometimes me overbooking myself. I got this idea of, man, I would love to do a love songs record and have it come out around Valentine's Day. And so I thought about this like last summer, because we're in the middle of a pandemic. None of us worldwide, none of us are working. And I said, you know what, I want to record this. And so I got with a producer out of Baltimore, Mark Stewart, and I got with him. I said, look, I want to do a CD that's just about love songs, but I want to do love songs that people can recognize and remember. And when they hear it, it's gonna take them to another place. So, I went back and redid like Pretty Brown Eyes, and I Can't Make You Love Me, I Get So Lonely, Always and Forever. Just a host of tunes that I thought would kind of set the mood for people, because we were, last year we were really in some trying times. We not only were dealing with a pandemic, but we were dealing with someone that was a little unstable in the White House, and we forgot all about love. In my opinion, I think we got to a point where love wasn't even on the radar. And so I wanted to do this song specifically to get us back in love, think about love. And so that was why I recorded this record titled The Art of Love.
I got one more question for you, and then I want you to throw a topic at us that we're going to write about. So my question is, what has been your most successful project that you're really proud of?
I think I would have to say probably the most successful project that I'm probably the proudest of is my gospel CD. So back in 2016, I was on a label, and that particular, and I'd always wanted to record a gospel record. I have gospel roots, and I've always wanted to record a gospel record. But jazz labels want you to record jazz. They're not as interested in gospel. They're more interested in jazz. And so when I presented the idea to my label, they weren't as receptive as I would have wanted them to be. And so I pretty much said, look, I'm going to do this either on my own or we're going to do this together. It's up to you. And so we worked out the terms and agreements and whatnot, and I recorded a record, and it's called Intervention. And intervention, to some, you immediately think about drugs and alcohol. That's where people's minds immediately go to. But intervention, as I defined it on this record, is where people go through struggles in life well beyond drugs and alcohol. Whether it's your love life, it's your finances, it's friendship, it's a host of things. And sometimes we need an intervention. And so all of the songs on this particular CD are songs that I listen to, that I lean on, that help get me through certain times. Sometimes we need an intervention to get us through things. And so that's why I titled the record Intervention. And with this record, I went and recorded, I wanted to try to touch a little bit of everybody. So I recorded It Is Well. I recorded How Great Is Our God. My Soul Has Been Anchored. I recorded a song that Frankie Beverly did called I Want to Thank You. I recorded Going Up Yonder. I did a funky kind of almost like a James Brown kind of version of Going Up Yonder. Stand. Nobody Greater. I did a song with Mesa Leak from Incognito. I would have to say that particular project is probably the one I'm most proud of, because not only does it relate to my roots, but I would have to say it's probably been my best-selling project, because I think people have been going through things or still going through things, and the songs that were recorded on that record are helping them to get through whatever it is that they are actually going through. So that's probably I would have to say I'm most proud probably of that record. And that was another one where I was planning on recording something different, and we just went in a different direction. And it has just been an amazing journey with that particular record. I've performed at churches around the country, and it's just been an amazing ride, just off that gospel record titled Intervention.
I want to thank you so much for allowing me to interview you. I definitely will be promoting the CD that you spoke about. What was the name of that again?
That particular CD is titled Intervention.
Intervention.
And if you're interested in it, you can just go to arsharadjuniorstore.com and order it right there. All of my CDs are on there. I have 5 CDs that are out right now. I have a 6th CD that will be out this summer. Brand new single that just released last Monday. So that particular CD.
And what's the name of that single?
That single's called Where Is the Love? And it's not the song that you would think of with Donny Hathaway, Roberta Flack, but it is actually an original tune that was written by Greg Manning out of Los Angeles. And like I said, I just felt that it was so fitting to have a song like this when we were just dealing with so much stress and anger and, uncertainty out of Pennsylvania Avenue in D.C. And once again, it just drew us away from that whole element of love. It just made everybody angry at each other. And that's not how we're supposed to live at all.
I definitely agree with you, and those are definitely some issues we talk about in Poetic Recovery. What I like to do is I like to have you come back when you get closer to releasing your new project, so we can keep everyone informed, and definitely help promote that, help promote your project. But Intervention, bro, you got to know that I'm definitely going to be promoting that Intervention. I mean, and you're right. People think of alcohol and drugs, but we need a spiritual intervention. A mental, a physical intervention. And so I really appreciate you for coming on tonight. Before you go, I'd love to ask you to give us a topic. And as you give us a topic, I'd like for you to expound on the topic for at least 1 or 2 minutes. And from that energy, we as a group, we're going to take that, we're going to write that, and then we're going to share our writings with each other. And I'll send you the link to the live, so that hopefully you'll be inspired by the writings we come up with from the topic you gave us.
Okay. Okay. Well, staying with that, with the whole topic of love, because I don't think that we can love enough, whether it's with our significant other or with just our fellow person. So I kind of want to ask that question of, really, I would have to say, where is the love? Where, and I ask that question because we get really hyper focused on our daily lives and the things that we do, and life becomes a routine. And one of the things that makes us feel the most or feel the best is when we know that we're loved. And as I mentioned, over the last, 4.5 years, we haven't been feeling much love from our fellow man. But at the same time, when we're in a relationship with people or with a person, where is that love? What? Sometimes we get kind of off track, and we forget to remind our significant other that they are loved. We love them, and unconditionally. This comes without any strings. So I would have to say, where is the love? And pose that as a question.
Thank you so much. And by the way, how do I officially pronounce your last name?
Art Sherrod.
I got it
Sherrod
right.
is, yeah, man. Trust me, people have butchered my name for a long time, and it's okay. But I'm glad you got it right. But I don't get upset if you get it wrong. But it's Sherrod.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Man, listen, I really appreciate you for a couple reasons. Thank you for your music. Thank you for acknowledging all those who have been in your life. Um, and thank you for coming onto our platform and sharing your time with us. You're welcome back anytime. Just let me know. And anything that you need, you want shared, just let me know. I know you have a beautiful spirit. We're all human, we're all fallible, but I know you put your best intentions into the things that you do just from listening and decisions that you've made. And I want to say thank you. Thank you for spending your time with us this evening.
Well, thank you so much for having me, and thank you for all that are listening and that have, given me an opportunity to speak on your platform. So I appreciate it so much.
It's my pleasure. Thank you so much. I hope you have a good evening. Be well, stay safe, and many blessings to you and your family.
Same to you, my friend. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye. So, everyone, how's everybody doing?
Good.
One person?
Pretty good.
Hey, Nano, how you doing?
Doing all right. Just tired, but I'm okay.
Nano, how do you pronounce your last name?
Uh Are you trying to say it or?
Yeah.
Oh Lord. Bonjour.
Bourgelin. Okay, cool. Dominica, you with us?
I ain't against you.
Well, that's good because I'd hate to have you against me. Oh Lord.
Yes, I'm with y'all. I'm the only one on camera besides you. You know I'm here.
For real, man. No, where you at? Sean. Still ain't get that phone fixed, huh, Sean?
Yeah, man. Yeah, waiting on the taxes right now.
The taxes and stimulus. I get you. Bro,
Exactly.
hey, listen, bro. I dropped my phone the other day and I was scared to turn it over because if it got fixed, it's gonna be like a 5-year limit, 5-year period if I get that thing worked on.
Yo, that's exactly how I feel. So it's like, man,
What'd you guys feel about the interview? How'd you guys feel about the interview?
I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. I'm actually gonna look up his couple of his song or his whole album, the Intervention. Are you posting that on the Poetic Recovery page?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I'm also
Right.
gonna post put them up on the Poetic Recovery website as well. Um, Dominica, how'd you feel about the interview?
I thought it was I thought it was good. It was swift and decent. I mean, swift and fast, but like Taryn, I wish we could have saw him talk more, but I know he was busy. But I did like his story about how he, was first about the drums and everything. It's nice to see how people, you never really know how their growth went or how their path went to get them to where they are. So I thought that was pretty interesting.
Thank you. Nanon, what do you think about the interview?
I thought it was a good interview. Um, I don't know the gentleman. I'll be looking forward to check out his work.
Yeah, man, his work is his work is good. I mean, listen, to be a saxophonist, that's a lot of work. Uh, Caller two, how you doing, Caller two?
Oh, you talking to me?
Oh, that's Jerry. Hey, Jerry, what did you think about the interview?
I thought it was pretty. Excuse me. I thought it was pretty interesting. I actually had two comments about it. One is that I was kind of surprised to hear him talk about how surprised and shocked he was to see fellow musicians doing drugs. And I guess it surprised me because I know there's a lot of musicians that aren't into drugs, but basically, in terms of musicians, that's not unusual for that to be taking place. So I was kind of surprised to hear that he was surprised to encounter that. And I had one other thing, but I lost my train of thought on that. But I thought it was a good interview. I thought it was very, very interesting. I think that you always ask good questions. Oh, yeah, I was gonna say there was one point where there was kind of like a silence, and so I didn't know if that's when you were trying to cue up the record that you were gonna play. But
Yeah, I was
yeah, there
trying
was
to
kind
cue.
of like a silence, which in
Yeah,
radio I guess is kind of like but
yeah.
this isn't radio. This is like live. But anyway, so I thought it was a good interview. I really enjoyed the interview, and I'm looking forward to hearing some of his music.
Jerry, you pick up on every little detail. That's just ridiculous. Because that silence was probably about 2.3 seconds long.
It
Wow.
seemed longer.
Yeah, it probably was, but I'm just I'm glad you're around because I'll always know where I make a mistake. So um
Yeah, no, it wasn't a mistake. It wasn't a mistake. It was just just feedback. Just feedback.
no, I'm teasing you. I'm teasing you. I'm teasing you. Caller four, how you doing, caller four? You're on mute, caller four. Caller four gets ready. We'll tune in. So topic is love. Where's the love? Y'all ready? Art Sherrod Jr., jazz saxophonist, gave us the topic of where's the love for us to write about. Where is the love? Nanon, you ready?
That's what we're writing about. Where is the love?
Where is the love?
Where he was talking about showing partners and all that, unconditional love, etc.
Where's the love? He posed it as the question. And so, from what I gather, he wants us to answer that question in our poem. Nanon, you with us?
Well, I have not done this before, so I don't know. I'm just gonna have to.
No. Here's how it goes. I'll explain it to you.
I'll pay attention.
I'm gonna explain it to you so you can join us. So the way it goes is that when we do an interview, we get a topic from the interviewee, and then we write on that topic. And the top question was, where's the love? And so that's the question. So what we do is we write from 5 to 7 minutes, and then we'll come back and we'll share our writings with each other.
I don't know if I have poetry skills though.
So just while you got, do you trust me? Do you trust me?
I'll trust the process.
Let's
see.
All right. So we all gonna write and we all gonna share. And
Lord.
we're gonna beat the heck out of fear. So don't even say that, Dominica. Don't even say that. I know you want to come and defend it. I'm not gonna let you. Oh, where's that mute button? Where's the mute button? As soon as you unmute it, I'm gonna click it.
Wait. Let me add, okay, one more time. So we supposed to write about where is the love? Any kind of love or just pertaining to what he talked about?
Pertaining to what he talked about, the topic.
Oh my God.
So
okay. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do this. I'm gonna try my best. I'm gonna put on back on mute. I don't know.
Do we have to like rhyme and stuff like that? Or
nope.
That's just not my area though.
Nope, you don't have to rhyme. Just share your thoughts.
All right, how many sentences? Like, can it be like one sentence?
We're gonna go 5 to 7 minutes.
That's right, girl. That's right.
We're going 5 to 7 minutes. If it takes you 5 to 7 minutes to write one sentence, well, at least it's a start.
Well, I'm poetically challenged. That's what it is.
I know you're good at expressing your thoughts.
Are we starting now?
Yes.
Okay.
Is there a thing on here to type on?
Oh my Lord. So just to let you all know that unfortunately right now my setup is in limbo. I should have it fully set up next Friday. So I don't know if you all can hear it. Let me know if you all can hear it. But I'm going to play a track from Art Sherrod's intervention. And this was titled How Excellent. Can y'all hear that? Can you hear it? Well, it's about the best I can do. So what y'all may want to do is go on YouTube and look up Art Sherrod intervention. How y'all doing? Y'all ready? I'm gonna play one more. And this one's called Stand. How y'all doing? Hello?
I'm here.
Y'all ready?
I sent mine in the chat.
Oh no, we read it.
Oh, you know I can't read.
Oh yes, you can. I know you can read.
I'm barely right.
I know you very well and highly educated.
Stop it. Or at least you have it for your record. My first poem.
I just wanted to make sure you got the full experience before. I know it's going to be a long while before I can get you back.
Mm-hmm.
Would you be willing to read it for us tonight? You know, Sean, please.
Not a great reader though. I don't know.
Yeah,
It's not gonna sound. It's not gonna sound very poetic, you know.
Oh, it is. It is because poetry sounds just like you. We all have our unique sounds, and you know. So,
Let's try.
Sean, you ready? You got yours?
Ready?
Jerry?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Jerry, you ready? Here goes Jerry. Oh, I ain't doing. Oh, I'll be done with it next week. Can I get 20 more minutes? Hell no, you can't get 20 more minutes. You done right now, bro. All right, I'm teasing. All right, Nanon, you want to kick us off?
Where is the love? They say God is love, but where is God? With so many chaos and distraction all over the world, every day we lose our humanity. When will this love ever come back? God, where are you? Fathers, where art thou? Mothers fending for themselves with fatherless children, complete abandonment. We need that love. Bring us back to Eden.
Wow. Yo.
Yes, girl. Yeah. Oh,
Oh,
sorry. Yes, girl. Yes.
Yo. Now, listen, I don't care, Dominica, Sean, Jerry, whatever y'all got to say. This is why I push people to do what they got to do. Because if I never would have pushed her, we never would have heard that. Thank you, Nanon. I appreciate that. And I will hear you next Friday. Thank you so much. That well, now, so that was that your first poem, Nanon?
Yep.
And that's the first time ever reading a poem?
First time writing and reading.
Where you from, Nanon? Where you from? Let us know where you from.
I'm from Haiti.
Straight from Haiti. Thank you for coming on tonight. I appreciate it. Sean, what you got, bro? I'm glad you're going after her and not me.
All right, let's see what I got. All right. Where is the love? Where? Yo no sé. Love. Donde? Everywhere around you. It's the vibrations. If you can feel, then you know. How? How what? It's not a competition, but I don't want to be in last place. Oh, don't worry about that. The more it's a competition to you, the more you'll run and probably fall. See how you fell? You'll never fall in love just thinking, asking, where is the love? That's it.
Thank you. Thank you.
Got
Thank
it.
you. Yeah.
Good job, Sean.
Thank you.
Jerry.
Jerry.
Y'all know Jerry can hear me, right? He acting like he can't. so he can finish his poem. Well, that's all right. Dominica, what you got? Thank you, Sean. That was beautiful. Thank you, brother. I appreciate that.
Got it.
All right, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Where is the love? Where is the love? Maybe it was never possessed. Some thinks it just lives within their heart. Let me go back. Where is the love? Maybe it was never possessed. Some think it just lives within their heart, which is part of their chest. Some never saw it nor experienced it at all. Some will never recognize it when it truly comes to call. Some will keep aiming high, not knowing the only way to receive it is to fall. It is the ones, is it in the ones that they call their type? It is so easy. Is it so easy, or will they put up a fight? Why does love always seem so dark when I thought it was supposed to be the light? How can it seem so very wrong when it's supposed to feel so right? Why do so many that are together seem like enemies? Always against each other like toxic frenemies. With an audience of neighbors and kids watching their poison spew, but can never find any remedies. When I think of Jehovah above, that's when I fully realize that is where I experience the only true unconditional love. And that's it.
Thank you very much.
Nice.
Thank you. Oh, now Jerry's back. Hey, Jerry, you gave yourself away on that one. I heard that hand clap.
Okay, yeah. So, all right, it's on me.
Hey, Dominica, you brought Jerry out of hiding with that one.
All the time, all the time. He say it after every time I do a poem.
All right, it's on me.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I don't have a title for this.
Where's the love?
Okay, so here we go. It was kind of like that. Kind of like when you think you can get to the place, but seek validation along the way just to be sure. But now you're told it's down a different road and around a hidden corner, down a curved alley, up a spiral staircase, and at the end of the hall, the door on the left. Now, you're not sure there's even such a place. That's what I got. Where's the love?
Wow.
That's
Okay.
right, Jerry.
Okay, Jerry. You want to play like that, huh? You know what? I ain't even gonna disrespect you. I was about to call you punk, but I was like, nope, nope, because I'm mad. That was pretty good. That was pretty good. I ain't jealous a little bit. That was dope, Jerry. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yo, so this is mine. Where's the love? Hidden under the hype of industry, buried in the frustration of screenwriters' minds forced to promote hate and fear. In the back of the minds of executives looking to sell drama, drama, drama. At the entrance of an abused wound, mistakenly dumped in the trash with broken electronics, misstood by novelists looking for an easy fix. Resting at the bowl, resting at the bottom of the bowl, waiting for art to blow, manipulating the frequencies with the keys that awaken the spirit to dance. Love is sewn in the fabric of music. It hits the eardrums, the frequencies vibrates and rips through all the cold hatred and ignorance, wraps a soul like a thermal blanket around a patient in hypothermia and coaxes them back to life. Not just to exist, but to live. Love is a musical intervention. Thank you.
That's poetry.
What you wrote was
Now,
poetry too.
That's pretty awesome, man. You came up with that in like 5 minutes, man. I think that's pretty deep,
Bro, yours was dope too. Man, I'm listening to all you guys and I'm like, yo, I kind of want to steal that. But, because I love y'all and want y'all around, I don't. And you see that machete that Dominica had, that's another form of motivation to keep me honest. So, I don't even got to threaten the brother. But okay, I feel you. I feel you. We all got our different experiences. Last week she heard a song on the radio that sounded like one of hers from back in the day. Her dude made 5.8 million, and so she still touched a little bit. So she had to show me the machete. I get it, and I want to say I hear you, I feel you, and I will respond in kind by saying I will not steal your shit. Oh man, I love having y'all on tonight. I hope y'all enjoyed it tonight. The sooner y'all get here on time, the more poetry we can do in the beginning. Because when you guys log in late, it forces me to try to figure out how to start the show. And then we get into conversations and people think we're not about poetry. So, but as soon as the first two people come on besides me, once I do the initial introduction of the weather and, talk about, different pathways to recovery and different issues and things that need to be talked about at that time, we'll start reading the poetry. But there is something I want to ask you all. Little Nas, the video of Little Nas giving the devil a lap dance. Yo, did you guys respond to that? No, did you hear about that? Did you see the video?
No, I've clocked out of the world.
You what?
I clocked out of the world. Been working
Why?
because I work hard. I work a lot, so I don't know what's going on. So
Word.
he's dancing on the laptop of the devil.
Yeah, I'm gonna say my opinion till later, and I'm gonna go around and see what everybody's got to say, and I'm gonna give mine later. What about you, Dominica? Did you see the video? Did you hear about it? What's up? What's your take?
I watched the entire video, and it's just, I'm gonna just say it ain't for me.
Okay.
It just is. I hope ain't nobody kids watching it, which that's who they were aiming for with that Old Town Road. So the little kids have been singing his music and that Panini song. So that's the one thing I'm just wondering how people with children, small children, because my son will be 25. So with people with small children, I wonder how that affects their household or what's going on. But I just thought it was a little bit I would say it's powerful. I can't say it's powerful for the positive. I'm not gonna say it's powerful. I'm just saying it's powerful, period. It went from that video and then it also went to the gym shoes with the blood and the soul. Do you know about that?
No, but let's say that for another time.
All righty.
Sean.
Yeah, I agree with her. I seen it. Um, yeah, I mean it's kind of crazy. I mean it's not kind of crazy, but it's crazy, crazy.
That's all you gotta say. It's crazy. You can't like go into details. Like,
I mean, personally, I mean it's his life. I mean, I'm not in control of it, so I could care less. But to be completely honest, but I mean, I don't believe, again, I mean, he has his own, following, which are kids and stuff like that. So I agree with her. But, it's crazy. Just crazy.
thank you, Jerry.
No, I did not see it. I would not see it. Just the title of it alone. It starts with the premise of of a lap dance, which is basically it's like the bastion of female exploitation. That whole setting, the whole notion of a lap dance, it just basically denigrates women in general. The fact that it would be the devil getting a lap dance is just I don't see what could be what possibly I don't see what value there could be in that. Regardless of what how the artistic flow of the video was, yeah, I think it's basically something that should not have even gotten any play at all, you know. And I think that for people to be looking at that as a form of art, and having objective comments on it, or looking at it objectively as they would of any other video, you know, I think that speaks to what's happening with society, and I'll leave it at that.
It was a man lap dancing the devil, Jerry, but I just wanted to tell you that.
So I don't. So here's what I believe. I think we all give lap dances to the devil every day, and we're in denial of it. When we choose not to learn about what's going on in society, when we choose to sit in the four corners of our room and pretend we're safe while innocent people are getting shot in the street by police or by gang members, drug dealers, responding to the impacts of poverty, we lap dance the devil. We make the Uncle Sam feel good. So I felt like at least he's real about his, you know, not that, you know, I don't even know what his spiritual beliefs are, you know, but when we aren't working together and creating an alternative, right? Like, how do we get mad at like someone refusing to be poor, refusing to have his family in a situation where they're likely to be killed off just because what they look like, or so on and so forth, you know? And it's hard for me to give a hard line, oh, it's wrong, when historically Christianity and all sorts of religion have abused Black people and continue to abuse Black people. And we ignore it and we refuse to address it. And so now the other thing for me is like the devil technically was created by God. You know, it was Lucifer, you know, and music, right? The best in music, you know, and so I don't have a boogeyman mentality when it comes to the devil, and here's why. I think the devil is an excuse that so many people use to avoid accountability for their own actions. I think the devil is an excuse or rationale for people's ignorance. When something happens or don't go their way, they say, "Oh, the devil did it." No, the devil didn't do it. You didn't understand the right process, and so because you didn't understand the right process and didn't do all the things you need, didn't cross the T's, didn't dot your I's, it failed to go through. Or because you don't understand how racism plays out, right? The devil did it. No, the devil didn't do it. People that control the system did it. And we continue to buy into the system instead of creating an alternative system that will support us. And so there's all this hoopla, right? When in reality, I think what we should be responding to is the fact that we all lap dance the devil every day when we choose not to respond to the injustices of the system. And so it's easy to point the finger at somebody else when they do something, you know. And you're right, Sean and Jerry. The children are watching us. Every time we refuse to stand up, every time we refuse to be accountable and disciplined and save our communities, children are watching, you know. And so I think if we're offended by Lil Nas, I think we should be offended by our inactions, you know, because they both send the same message, you know. We're all lap dancing the devil, you know. And that's one thing I've been thinking about this whole week, you know. And I think that if we want Little Nas to stand up and be accountable, I think we need to stand up and be accountable as well, you know. And so but I do get where everybody's coming from. And so here's what I say. I say let's build this up. I say let's create an alternative so that there is no need for that, you know. But on the in the other way that I took it was that, and here's the thing, right? So if you look at the system, right, the system screws us every day, bends us over and screws us without our permission, right? The other way I took it was like, well, at least he's being screwed on his own terms, you know. That was the other way I took it, you know. So, what'd you say, Dominica?
But is he really being screwed on his own terms? Because he has a whole team of artistry and designers who helped put that whole thing together. He didn't come up with that on his own. I watched his interview.
No,
And
I didn't say he developed the whole video. I said he's being screwed on his own terms. You know,
I don't.
How?
No, I didn't say how. I was just gonna say I disagree that he's being screwed on his own terms. I think he's exploiting the platform that he has. And then earlier
Exactly, which means that he's being screwed on his own terms.
That doesn't always mean that. That's the perception is key. So we have different perceptions on that. But earlier you said that. Let's go back to what you said about the community thing. You said about us as a people building up the community and making ways and changes so kids don't even have to go through that. There's always going to be this and that, a good and a bad, because we live in a world of free will. So you can put a community and fix it up to what you deem is qualified as the best and safest community with the best opportunities. And it may be 1, 2, 10 kids in there that might feel that those opportunities that we're providing are not for them. So they're going to go down their own path. So regardless of when we come together and create, there's things in every community there that are created and strategized around, you know, making it a better and safer and a better outlook with opportunities for any and everybody. But again, with free will, people are going to still go their own way. And that dude, you say he was being free, or you say he at least he was keeping it real. He wasn't keeping it real until recently, because he didn't even come out that he was gay or whatever his sexual thing is. He didn't even come out with that until he got famous. So he wasn't keeping it real. He was hiding.
Well, I'm not talking.
But I'm gonna go back on mute so you can go back and say something, because we can jump in. So hold on.
I'm not talking about before. I'm speaking about right now, right? Like, so obviously when you first get into the industry, you're a slave to the industry, and pretty much until the end. But my point is that at this point in time, where he's at with his artistry or whatever you want to call it, right? He on his terms made that video. You know what I'm saying? So if you look at like most people in society, we're getting screwed by this government, not on our own terms, right? The way we're being treated by police. We're not learning about, You know, I see video time and time again of people trying to interact with the police and don't even have any understanding of the law, but yet want to regurgitate something that they heard on another video without even understanding that, okay, that was a law for that particular state. You know what I'm saying? And so we're not understanding and learning as a whole, you know, about what's happening and what's going on. And there's so many people that are learning, they're not really actually educating other people. They're using that knowledge as a carrot stick, or as like, you know, hey, I'm better than you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, you should follow me type of thing, rather than just giving the knowledge freely. You know what I'm saying? And so my thing is that um I don't think that Little Nas is the enemy. I think Little Nas is a product of cultural exploitation and appropriation. And if we're going to be mad at the byproduct of that, then we need to create something different, something new. You know what I'm saying? And protect our culture so that we can give what we believe that our community needs. And the other thing is that, like, when you're talking about free will, you know, that can be argued. We can argue that till the cows come home, right? But at the end of the day, most people in this society don't have free will because we live under oppressive system. We use what we're given to us, right? And that's not free will. That's not free will at all. That's being a slave to a system that is controlled by those that control the texts that go within the Bible, right? That has us like, you know, frustrated, but wait until the Messiah comes to do anything about it. And I think that, you know, we need to do something about it now. And the question is, what are we going to do about it so that this no longer has to be a conversation? You know, but I on one hand, I agree with you all, you know what I'm saying? But I'm thinking about this outside the box, if that makes sense.
Can I make a comment?
No, absolutely not. Yes, go ahead.
So we're only 2 days removed from Women's History Month. Okay, we're only 2 days removed from that. So I just want to say that one of the main, if not the main tool of oppression is language. Okay, and so the lap dance that has come into our general vocabulary, right? The problem with that is that the lap dance is basically all about the exploitation of females. All right. It's not only about the exploitation of females, but it's about the exploitation of the most vulnerable females. Okay. And so the whole notion of lap dance, all right, when we talk about that, what we're talking about, we're using this language as though it's like we're talking about, you know, flowers or, you know, or whatever, any other reality in our society, when in fact the whole notion of a lap dance is something that is rooted in the exploitation of females. All right. And so I think that we need to understand that as we talk about that, just like we talk about in very casual language about like a car or vehicle being pimped out, you know, we're using one of the tools that has been used against us to keep us in this persistent state that we're in. And so I think that we need to begin to understand how language is used as a tool of oppression. And I'm going to leave it at that.
You know, I want to say that the way that, you know, I'm looking at a brief history of lap dance. It said this is from Nag's Head Gentlemen's venue.com. Exotic dancing may have existed since records began, but lap dancing is a 20th century invention. Pole dancing, table dancing, other kinds of erotic shows were the main attraction at early strip clubs until club owners saw a chance to up the ante. And you're right, Jerry, about the exploitation of women, it being about, the exploitation of women. But, as we move on and things are changing, I mean, it could also speak to the fact that, like, the other aspect too, he could have been sending the message that, like, being in the music industry is like him giving lap dances to the industry executives. You know what I'm saying? And it could be seen as him, sending the message that, like, he's exploited too. You know what I mean? So I mean, there's so many different ways that it could be seen, and I agree with you. And I think that we need to look at it like so many people being exploited and oppressed in the music industry. Like, we need to change this culture on its head. You know what I'm saying? And so that's one of the reasons why I like Poetic Recovery. I love these discussions, but I also love the sharing of our the exchange. I love the cultural exchange that happens here, and I hope it continues. And thank you all for sharing your opinion. I hope you all don't feel like I've tried to shut any of your opinions down on the idea, because I definitely didn't try to. That wasn't my intentions. But it's always great to hear the different takes on things, and so. I apologize my system isn't up fully yet, but I wanted Poetic Recovery to continue after my nervous breakdown. Uh, I had someone pass away. I think I had a lot going on during that week, and I just felt like, so much garbage is getting support in this world that, like, Poetic Recovery is so beautiful and unique, you know. Um, but yeah. See y'all next Friday.
Hey, and I think that is awesome, man. The way you're getting all these people to interview, man. I mean, you're pulling some pretty deep folks up, man, for
I know,
interviews,
right?
man. Yeah, and so I think that's huge, man.
Well, the premise is, man, is to get people to realize, on one hand, man, like, you know what, like, let's be honest, bro. Nobody starts out drinking and saying, like, yo, I want to be an alcoholic and throw my life away. Nobody takes a joint and be like, yo, I want to become like an addict and throw my life away. Nobody starts out with that premise, right? Um, from the drug dealer to the police officer, we're all lied to about the realities of addiction. Either people try to scare us, or they try to make it sound, you know, the drug life, like, very exciting. And the lies that we're told is that we're never taught about the spiritual, emotional damage that happens as a result. Um, and so I think that there are people out there that truly care, and that see this as a viable outlet, you know, and know that, the aim is to send a message, like, we need to connect as a human race, as beings, as Black people. We need to address the issues at hand. As a diverse group of people, we need to admit the issues that occur. We need to listen to each other, and we need to have this cultural exchange. And I think that people see the power behind Poetic Recovery, and people do want to support Poetic Recovery, and so people such as yourselves, you could be anywhere in the world, but you choose to be here, and I'm grateful that you all chose to be here. And I hope that you all find that this has been intellectually and spiritual beneficial of being here tonight. And with that, if you all have, I'm going to give everybody 30 seconds. I gave you guys, you and Dominica, 30 seconds to a minute to talk about what you all would do if someone needed help. And you guys took up like 20 minutes each. So we're going to cut that. We're going to cut that minute way down. I'm going to give you guys 30 seconds. If you guys have a product that you want to promote, 30 seconds. Nanon, you got anything? Business product?
Not at the moment, but there are a few projects in the way. I'll let you know.
All right, all right. Dominica, any products?
All right. I got Dominica Shamar's holistic healing and wellness products. I have healing and wellness candles. I have light in the darkness candles. All my candles have healing properties in them. I have my roller balls, which are my essential oils, bath soaks, bath teas, foot soaks, bar soaps. I make extra strength pain relief cream, and it has herbs and inside of it, as well as essential oils. I'm a holistic wellness practitioner, coach right now. So let me know if you need any products, if you got any ailments, arthritis, eczema, things like that. I'm your go-to girl.
Sean, you got anything?
I'm good for right now.
Jerry, you got anything?
I want to support the essential oils thing, because that's huge. Yeah, and I second that. You know, folks.
Do you have a product you like to advertise, Jerry?
No, I'm supporting a product that I'm supporting Dominica's product. Yeah, essential oils.
Why
that's
you
what's
always
up.
want to change?
That's where it's at.
Why you always want to change the format of my damn show, bro? Huh?
Oh, but I do have one quick suggestion, though. I think you should get like the little bell, man. So when people's time is up, you just ring the bell, and that shuts everything down, man. You know.
I'm about to shut you down because
I'll go on and on and on, man, just like you will. But anyway.
You wasn't over time, bro. You just wasn't even about the subject matter. I was like, yo, promote your brand. I have nothing to promote, but I want to support. Nah, bro, promote. All right, thank you.
So we're supporting each other, right? And so I have nothing
see what I'm talking about? See what I'm talking about? This is what Jerry do.
That's right, Jerry. Support each other. You can find me at Dominica Shamar on Facebook or Etsy. Dominica Shamar, DOMINICA SHAMAR.
And yes, Jerry, we are supporting each other. However, in respect of time and format. Thank you, sir. All right.
You are welcome. Thank you, sir.
You guys can go to Cultural Merchandise Facebook page, where I'm pretty sure Dominica will be sharing her products on Cultural Merchandise, which is our page for artists who have merchandise to sell. They can promote it there. Thank you all very much for coming out. Jerry, love arguing with you. Love fighting with you, bro.
Can I support love? Is that a product that I can support?
Can you support what?
Love.
I guess if you want to go to a gentleman's club, you know what I'm saying?
That's not love, man. That's not true love, man.
Why isn't it true love? Who makes
I guess it is. It is.
You know, there's some people that don't get. You know what? Let me ask you this, right? So let's say I have a physical ailment, right? And the women around me consider me ugly, and will have nothing to do with me. And let's say the only person who's willing to spend time with me is a prostitute. No, for real. Would that be love?
You're talking about the strip joint? You're talking about getting a lap dance?
I'm saying, listen to the question. It's bigger than the lap dance, bro. Let's say I got a physical ailment. All the women around me consider me ugly and won't spend time with me. and the only person that spends time with me is the prostitute. Why can't, is that not
Okay.
love? Is that not love? What is that?
That's getting what you need. That's getting what you getting. That's
Isn't
a
it?
hole.
Isn't
That's filling the hole that you
it?
need filled.
Yeah,
You
it is.
know.
It is. But hold on. Let's think about it, right? Hold on. Let's think about it. Because, all right, fine. Let's go over some time here because this is a deep conversation. All right. So, in a relationship, right, people trade off in order for that relationship to work. Now, man or woman, woman or man, man, woman, woman, whatever it is, we say we love each other, whatever, right? But there's a trade off.
Mm-hmm.
And once I stop trading what that person wants for what I'm getting, that person stops providing. Arguments happen, so on and so forth, right? So what's the difference?
Mm-hmm.
He goes to the prostitute for something that he wants. There's a trade-off. One is money, the other is attention. As soon as he stops with the money, there's an argument, right? Problem ensues. What is the difference?
I would say it's probably no different than when, say, people are married, they fall in love, and it's like true love, and then the husband loses his job, or the wife, gets a windfall from some wealthy relative and says, "I'm out of here." You know what I'm saying? So yeah, there comes a point where being together, there's love there, but what can separate that? Could be money, could be jealousy, could be anything. You know what I mean? But I think that a person doesn't have to be ugly or have be a leper or an outcast in order to pursue to find companionship or something, whatever else they need. It could be a man or a woman, in that position. But I think that that what love is a connection between two individuals. It could be emotional, it could be sexual, it could be spiritual, it could be on any level, but it's a connection between two people. It's a bond. And I think that that's always a beautiful thing, even if it's like artificially induced.
Hmm.
I don't know if
All
that
right.
makes sense, but
No, it does, which brings me back to my point. There's no difference. The difference is
well, and
that
that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to come full circle back to your point, and so we're in agreement.
right. And so, but I think what happens is that because of religion and people wanting to appear holier and greater than now, people have created these artificial, relationship ideas, right? Because if you look at like what's the level of divorce rate in these marriages? They're so high, it's ridiculous. And so the question goes that like, so you got a John and a prostitute who knows each other for over 40 years, when most marriages don't even last more than 7, 8 years. So I'm not
What?
saying so I'm not saying that like prostitute is is marriage or whatever, but I'm saying that at some point in time we got to stop. We got to stop. The lies, man, and we got to be honest with ourselves. You know what I'm saying? We live in a society where most people do not know what love is. You know what I'm saying? And we look for love within the bosom of each other, when in fact we need to learn how to find the love within ourselves. So when we do go into these relationships, we have an idea of we have an idea of love. You know what I'm saying? But I don't I think love, when we say, oh, what's love, I think what that love is when someone does something that creates the chemical reaction inside of us and makes us feel excited, and we're like, oh, they love me.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? And we
yeah.
say that's what love is, right? So will love be the behavior that makes us feel good, right? Because if that's what love is, then what about the bad part? Is that not love too? You know what I'm saying? And so, it's a long and deep discussion, but I just can't stand when we belittle people because they're acting outside of what we think the norm should be, right? When at the same time, we don't even have definitions for like the basic concepts that we tell people that they should live under.
Are you familiar with dopamine?
Yep.
So I think that's kind of like, I could be wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that lies at the heart of most human interactions. I mean, that's like the feel good. That's the feel good chemical that our brain produces, right? So I mean, if you get kissed by a pretty girl, or if somebody flirts with you, or if you find a $10 bill on the street, right? Yeah, that dopamine stuff starts flowing. Those synapses start popping. It's like, wow, money, or whatever. And so, yeah, I think that's what motivates people. Some people find that. Some people get that dopamine rush through drugs. Some people get it through sex. Some people get it through, writing poetry. So yeah, I agree with you, man. It's all good. Everyone's trying to get what they need by any means necessary. But anyway, it's always a pleasure, man. There's always time well spent, and I thank everyone for being here and for putting up with me and listening to us. And I hope everybody has a good week. And I'm keeping your friend in my prayers and my thoughts. The one in the hospital. Yeah, hopefully there'll be a good outcome for him.
Word up. Much love to Chris. You know what I'm saying? Wishing you healing, speedy recovery. You know what I'm saying? Word. I put the link
Where
to
is he at?
Coach.
Bay State?
I can't say, but yeah. I put the link to Cultural Merchandise in the group, in the chat group. But it's, yeah, man. You just brought my mind back to his situation. But I want to thank you all again. And you know what? We're ending actually right on time because I wanted to extend it to 10:30, and it's 10:24. So Jerry doesn't have a big mouth after all.
Well, I'm gonna take that as a positive, as a compliment.
Jerry, man, I don't know why I be getting on you, man. My bad. Jerry's my elder. How old are you, Jerry?
I can't really say, man. I'm like old, man. Like yeah, I'm like that, old school.
Jerry has that old wisdom sound to him, anyway, right?
No, I just can't say.
If I told you how old I was, man, then that would be like you'd be discriminating against me, man. It'll be like an age discrimination thing, man.
No, that it would be okay, man, because we're
subconsciously,
online, man.
Subconsciously, man. It's like another ism,
Hey, man, it would be okay because we're online. It don't count when you're online. No, I'm just messing with you. Hey, Sean, bro.
Yeah, how old are people? I'm interested. How old is your crew? How old are folks out there?
Dominica, how old are you?
From the man who can't say,
I know,
need
right?
everybody else age. Okay, Jerry, got you. I'm 40.
How old are you, Nanone?
I'm about to be 42.
That's a daggone lie.
28.
She about to be 39. Hey.
What do you mean?
I'm teasing. I'm just saying you look good, girl. Take the compliment. No, I'm just messing.
Thank you.
Sean, you what, Sean?
That's the prime for women, isn't it? Like 40, that's like a woman's prime.
You better, know it.
Yo. Man, this is a good place to end off. Man. All right, y'all. It's been a good night. Thank y'all for coming. I appreciate
Are y'all
it.
gonna come on camera next time? I hope we ain't. I'm not scared to see you. Just let me know so I can turn my camera off too, and Maurice can just be up there by herself.
Why are you gonna not do it? Because Jerry can't move past a flip phone. Sean can't get his fix.
Some of the libraries are still open, Jerry. You can go rent one of the computers.
What's still open?
Some of the libraries are open in certain locations. I know you can go and reserve a computer so you get on camera.
I just found out about that. I know like Chicopee and West Springfield are open. I didn't know that until like about a week ago.
I'm all the way in Ohio, so I don't know those locations, but I do know that the public libraries are open somewhere. And I'm in a lot of places, different states. So you probably can slide in, reserve a computer, and get right on camera with us. You know what I'm saying? They open till, I don't know what time of y'all neck the field. It might be wrong.
You know what I'm surprised at? Dominica, you never mentioned anything about my clothes, my laundry baskets in the background.
I mean, I gotta let you be you, like you said. You know, do it on your own terms, like Lil Nas X. I can't be against nobody. You know, we call and when you buy baskets at the store, say suggested use. It might be an art prop. You know.
You know what I'm saying? Yo, you know what? Let me tell you something, man. Like, this is for the everyday person. Keep it real. You know what I'm saying? But I did think about finding a new location for my laundry basket, though.
Well, you usually have your background thing up. That's what I'm used to seeing. That's what I'm like. So, you know, I'm like, we the only two on camera. Don't nobody see it but us. So, and if you would have never said it, nobody would have saw it.
And no was looking at the YouTube live. You know what I'm saying? Like, no.
Except me when I go comment.
You know what I'm saying? Like, well, now, what did you trying to cover up in your laundry basket? You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Airing dirty laundry.
Word.
Series 1.
Yo, all right, you guys. I hope y'all have a beautiful week. Oh, by the way, the international open mic is gonna happen. It's still in the works. And then I'm looking to start a Sunday thing, a Sunday afternoon thing. So yeah, we'll see.
What do you mean a
Is it
thing?
Saturday?
What kind of thing?
Sorry.
Yeah, so the international open mic will be on Saturday afternoons. And then the Sunday will be more like a spiritual Sunday where we have discussions and talk, you know, on spiritual topics, you know what I'm saying? Where people from all different backgrounds, religions, and spiritualities come together and we talk, you know what I'm saying? Rather than argue about a point, you know what I'm saying? Look at like what we all have in common about that particular point, you know what I'm saying? So we can encourage each other to keep, you know, doing what we got to do to like keep pushing, but also build like connections to each other. So that's the idea. With that being said, you ain't got to go home, but you got to get the hell up out of here. I hope y'all have a good night.
Hey, so what do you think about battle rap, man? Is that
Oh, hell no, Jerry, you are not starting.
Jerry, what a battle rap.
Jerry, you're not going to be starting another half an hour conversation.
Jerry said, what a battle rap.
About battle rap. Why don't you bring that next week? Bring that next week.
If I remember.
Jerry. Oh, hell no, Jerry, you're not starting that conversation. It's not happening.
No, we're gonna keep this positive, man. We'll keep it all on the positive thing.
Battle rap can be positive, but it just ain't happening tonight. We can bring it next week.
Come with your rhymes, Jerry. I'm gonna be ready.
What up? Let's do that. Let's do that.
Oh, I'm gonna be ready, Jerry. Ready to hear you battle against Maurice with this lyricist type of thing. I see how y'all do with regular communication.
You better bring your defibrillator. Yo, get off my phone, man.
Hey, yo, I gotta let you guys go. We'll be on all night here.
Bye.
Yeah, no, we ain't. I'm about to close out.
Bye, y'all. Have a good
Yo,
weekend.
Good
see you
night.
later.
Have a good one.
You too.
I'm done with y'all.
All right. I'm out.
Love y'all. I want to thank y'all for tuning in to another episode of Poetic Recovery, April 2nd, 2021. Tonight we had Art Sherrod Jr., saxophonist, amazing musician. We interviewed him tonight. And he left with the question, what is love? And so we wrote some poetry on that topic. We enjoyed having conversation tonight, which range from different topics and stuff like that. But what you'll see that as we get more poets on, we'll be doing more in the way of reading poetry, singing, so on and so forth. But we're going to keep this going, keep it moving. I want to thank you all for tuning in tonight. We hope you enjoyed this episode of Poetic Recovery and hope to see you next Friday. Take care. Peace.